I'll start with some background, saying that 59% of young Moldovan are economically inactive, which means that it's a higher percentage than actual people that don't work. So this raises the question if people are really interested in working right now, especially in the youth. In the second graph, you can see that in Moldova we have a quarter of young people who want to be successful. What about the 75%? What do they want to do? What do they want to do in villages? For example, the kids in villages or the guys in high school. What do they think about their future? This is a very important question, and this project has the aim to answer to propose a solution to this problem. And in the end, Eurostat shows statistics that we have 13,000 Moldovan students abroad, which means that we have 30,000 students with Moldovan passport. They don't take into account Romanian passport. From my experience, I was studying in Europe only with Romanian passport, so this figure is much bigger. It can be 3 times bigger, 4 times bigger, and we have big potential, a lot of good students abroad who can influence the situation at home for better. So we have a typical problem worldwide, not only Moldova, the brain drain and the immigration. But the question is, how do we use it in order to improve things at home and at the same time to use it in a good way? It causes a lot of problems, like when you emigrate and for example, you're in high school and you want to apply for university abroad. When you get there, you get a cultural shock, you need to get engaged with the community there, and it's not so easy. But from this problem, we can derive some solutions. And this project is aimed to derive these solutions, basically. It gives opportunity for those who studied already abroad to become mentors, for those who are at home and can teach people how to do several things. I will present later, and you'll get, aware of this process more in detail. So our main aim is to create connections between experienced people from abroad who are mentors with guys who are inexperienced from home, and the other way around, to get to know people from abroad for people at home in Moldova, so that they can work in different projects or contribute to different businesses. So our value proposition starts from the fact that our competitive advantage is the fact that we have a lot of experienced people in diaspora. Everybody knows about it. And our target groups for now is the students and the youth professionals. So Mentor Me is going to address 3 big things. Is the fact that we have a lot of young people, around 250,000 at home, in schools, and also abroad studying, and also young professionals abroad. And at the same time, Mentor Me is going to make a combination of 2 things. Online, with a platform to get engaged, to make connections between unexperienced people and experienced people, and offline, to share the experience during different events. For example, when you go home, you go to your school and you share your experience with the community. It's an important factor, and it happens already nowadays, but it happens in a very small scale, we have to say it. And if we make it scalable, it can have a much bigger impact on the education in Moldova. Because in the last 25 years, actually since independence, the education in Moldova didn't get better. It got just worse. And nothing happened to the better. And in the end, of course, we have a lot of strong, experienced professionals abroad, as well as some at home, which can share the experience with young people. So we have two categories of people in this project. Mentees, who lack the information, so basically young people, which are part of a community, but the community doesn't give them what they need. And at the same time, they don't have enough support from the family to make several things. For example, you want to go study somewhere, like for example, let's say Romania, but your parents want to build a house with 2 floors. Maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe it's a good idea to build a house with 1 floor and to invest in the education of this young generation. In this sense, the mentors will provide information to the mentees, and they will have a chance to talk to the parent and to show them that it's important to get educated in a good way. And at the same time, we have mentors who know a lot of things, but they cannot share these things. And in the same time, they don't have a direct channel to do it. You can do it through Facebook, you can do it through whatever Twitter, whatever social network, but it's some random stuff which doesn't happen like quite often. And in the same time, mentors, I mean, you should know, guys. I mean, you're part of the American community, but you kind of lose the connection with the younger generation at home. You don't know what is happening in the educational system, to be honest, and you don't need to know, but you'll have a chance to know through this platform. So these are the direct impacted people from North America. It's going to be, for example, students, exchange students, flex participants, it's from high school, green card winners or immigrants, work travel participants, and so on. And at the same time, students, people's ONGs, businesses from Moldova. These are the beneficiaries, and we can see from this list that it can be thousands of people, not only one or two. So we aim big, and here is our solution for this problem. We will encourage circular migration, so we will encourage not only the fact that we should integrate into the country of residence. For example, if somebody is emigrating from Moldova into a country of residence, but in the same time we're going to integrate the immigrant back at home so that they can share the knowledge in a better way. And we're going to do it through a mentorship platform, a web platform. We're not reinventing Facebook here, we're just offering a new way which is going to solve this problem, and you can connect later on with social networks to talk about it. So we have two assets, the online platform and the offline events, which are going to follow after we make the connections on the online platform. So our program will offer opportunities abroad for people who want to study abroad, and at the same time it's going to offer advices about career development. Yeah, we have people who work at Google, at Facebook, and trust me, there are a lot of them. Even in our team we have two guys who work at Google and Facebook, and they can share their experience with others. And it can, of course, create new business opportunities for companies at home to, for example, open some other subsidiaries in another country through the advices of a local, partner or something like that.